Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from the Meadowlands Racetrack here on Friday. It is the 30th of September 2022. I'm going to look at all the races on tonight's program for the Meadowlands, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean around the world. I think tonight's card should get in, but Friday, or I think very late Friday night, like around 11ish, early Saturday morning, when the rains are going to come, and I would be very surprised if the Meadowlands runs racing on Saturday evening. That's my guess. But tonight's card should be safe. We'll probably have a firm turf course. It's been pretty dry the last week or so in New York and in East Jersey or North Jersey. But we have 6 races to look at. All of them are on a mile trip on the lawn. So let's get to it. The first race, it's a maiden special weight going for a $40,000 purse. Raced for 2-year-old maidens. We have a field of 14 horses entered. Only 12 could go 1,600 meters or a mile on the turf course. Going to take here as a top selection the number 6 horse, who is Malibu Rumble. Let's go 6'11", 3'5" in the superfecta. 6'11", 3'5" super, top selection 6 horse, Malibu Rumble. This 2-year-old gelding by Always Dreaming. Michael Trombetta trains. Jorge Vargas Jr. gets the mount. The horse's most recent appearance came 3rd September at Monmouth. 1 mile on the lawn and a main special weight for 53,000. And the horse finished second by 1 3/4 lengths. It was the horse's first start routing, also the first start around first start on the green stuff, the lawn, and the horse, stalked that day. He really closed up well late. The winner had the jump on him, but I didn't think it was a half bad race. Coming to the Meadowlands here today, has a good buyer number, could sit close on this turf course. I think the horse could really improve to run a good race here today. 2 back, the debut came the 12th of August at Monmouth. 6 furlongs in the main special weight for 55K. And the horse finished 3rd by 3.5 lengths that day. Was very wide and just never really showed up. I do think the horse just got beat by better horses. But since the last run, has been training well at Monmouth. A half-mile work on the main track, 49 4/5 of a second. And a half-mile drill, 51 flat to 58th. Best workout, 75. I think he's rearing to go. I'm going to use him with the 11-horse Super Ron. His most recent race on the 3rd September, going a mile in the main special weight. He finished 3rd by 8 lengths. He set the pace, but then he just kind of hit the wall. He's been gelded since the last race. Reported gelding on the 7th of September. Problem is, has there been enough recovery time since the geld? That we're going to figure out today. But his most recent races have been half bad. I think the geld will help, but he might need the race. We'll use him as a security play in the pick 6. But to recount my selection for the first from the Big M, let's take the 6 horse Malibu Rumble. Give kudos to the 11 horse Super Ron. 6'11", 3-5 super, 6'11" in your multi-race. The second race, it's an allowance optional claimer, purse $56,250. Races for Jersey bred 3-year-olds and upwards, never won. A New Jersey bred restricted or other than claiming blah 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 blah. We have a field here of 10 horses, again going 1,600 meters, or the mile trip on the turf course. The 2-horse Indian to win is my top selection. 2-7-1-6 in the superfecta. 2-7-1-6 super, top selection. 2-horse Indian to win. 3-year-old colt by Verrazano, Grand Motion trains. Jeremy Rose, the veteran, gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 20th of August at Monmouth. Mile 16th in main special weight, 68,000. Took him 3 starts to break the main, but he finally did, winning by a neck that day. Off and on the lead, dueling that day. He got the lead and he held on to a very nice victory. I do think the blinkers really concentrated him. Coming here today, hopefully being more fully paced, I think the horse could really run a good race today. 2 back, the horse from the 5th of August at Monmouth. 5 furlongs on the lawn in a state-bred main special weight. First off, the 13-month refreshing, he finished 3rd by 1.5 lengths. He just had a little bit of a troubled trip around the far turn, but he was closing up well late. I didn't think it was a half-bad race. And then his first start of his life came July of 2021 in a 5-furlong main special weight. He finished 3rd by 6 3/4 lengths that day. He didn't really run early on. He moved a little bit late, but I don't think he's a dirt horse. I like the turf on him, and he proves he likes it. Coming here today, I know he's going to be a short price, but he's going to be a logical single. If you're going to play the pick 5, pick 6, let's single him here. But to recount my selection for the second from the Meadowlands, let's take the 2-horse Indian to win. 2-7-1-6 super. We'll single that 2 in the multi-race. To the third event now, which is a claiming event, going for a purse of $25,000. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field here of 11 horses entered to go 1,600 meters or a mile on the turf course. I'm going to take here as a top selection the 11 horse Just in Time for Wine. I'm going to go 11.538 in the superfecta. 11.538 super. Top selection 11 horse Just in Time for Wine. 5-year-old Gillen by Justin Phillips. Patrick Reynolds trains, gets Rodriguez up in the saddle. The horse's most recent outing came the 16th of September, which was a few weeks ago now, at Delaware Park. About a mile 16th on the green stuff and a claiming 16, and he finished second by 1 3/4 lengths. He set the pace, but then he just kind of hit the wall, maybe a little bit too fast to that half. Hopefully slowing it down, probably going to lead to get a good position out of the gate. I think the horse will really run a good race and improve off the last run. Two back, he ran horribly and claimed 22.50 at Monmouth, to put it politely. Mile 8th on the 6th of August. He finished 10th by 13.5 lengths. He really dueled early on, which cost him very quick first half and 3/4. Just wasn't enough left in the tank there. The winner, Hieroglyphics, the veteran, really put on a show. And then a Parks in the Star Lounge race with the mile 70 on the green stuff, winning by 1/4 lengths. Easy fraction to the half, which really suited him well, and he just kept going. An all-around easy race from there. And then optional 16 of Parks over the mile 70, winning by 4. Again, stupidly wide that day, but he won quite nicely. He has enough speed to win here from the outside. Hopefully he uses it. Hopefully he breaks well. 6-1 will use him on the ticket. I think the 5 horse on the couch is his second likeliest winner. Most recently, claiming 12.50, he finished 6 by 6.5 lengths and had a horrible beginning. Got bumped, had to steady a few times, which cost him a good race. Before then, claiming 12.50 at Monmouth over the mile, he finished third by neck. And again, he sat back early, but really closed up well. He's been a very popular horse at the claiming box. He's been claimed in his last 5 starts. So a lot of people like him, and he always runs these good races. He's a deep closer. If there's going to be a pace meltdown, I think he get the job done. 4-1, we're going to use him on the ticket. But to recount my selection for the third from the Meadowlands, let's take the 11 horse Just in Time for Wine. 11.538 super. 11.5 in your multi-race. Let's get to race number 4 from the Meadowlands now, which is a claiming race. It's going for a purse $25,000, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Number 1, 4 races here. We have a field of, 12 horses entered, again, to go, guess what, the distance of ground of 1 mile on the turf course. I know why they don't want to card mile races, mile 16th races, and on the same, and used to be mile 70 races. I know they don't want to eat up the turf course so much, but still, it gets a little bit annoying after every single race being a mile. But with that being said, my top selection here, I'm going to go with the 3 horse Panster. 3791 for me in the superfecta. 3791 super. Top selection is 3 horse Panster. This 4-year-old gun by Bodemeister. Arnold Delacour trains. Hector Dias Jr. gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came late June at Belmont. 26 to be exact. 6 furlongs inner turf course option 45. And the horse finished 5th by 4.5 lengths that day. And he sat back early, was stupidly wide, but he just didn't get the good turn of foot. He just needed something more. His most recent race have been like that. Before that, Belmont, the Widener. 7 furlongs and option 45. He finished 7th by 5 3/4 lengths. Again, it was stupidly wide and just kind of hung there. He ran decently in his seasonal reappearance at Aqueduct. 6 furlongs, option 45. Finished 3rd by 1 3/4 lengths. He was drifting late while closing, but he still needs something. I do like him to the longer trip. It's been a while since he's routed, but when he has, it's been decently. In a Staple Lounge race last September at Saratoga, he finished 2nd by 2 1/4 lengths. Coming from mid-pack, I thought he ran decently. And then before that, in a Star Lounge race, Saratoga in August 2021, he won by a neck. Again, coming from mid-pack, he really won quite nicely. And for the tag today, off the bench, new trainer, 9-2. I'm going to use him. Do I think you're going to get 9-2 on the post time? No, I do not. I think he's going to get bet way into the ground. But I also think the 7 horse front man is your second likeliest winner. Trevor McCarthy comes over to ride this horse. Most recently at Saratoga in July, mile 16th in a Star Lounge race. The horse finished 7 by 6 lengths and really just had a horrible trip around the far turn. Bumped a few times and just never really got out. Excuse me. It's been a very long day and didn't have enough coffee. So if you notice my uploads today, I uploaded very early because I did some videos last night. I uploaded at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, and right now it's 10 o'clock at night. So it's been, the coffee has not been enough today. But I did look at these races yesterday, if you're wondering. So I'm not that tired, and I already looked at earlier in the day when I had time. I looked at tomorrow's races, but I don't look at the races tired. That's what I'm trying to say. I might, describe them tired, but not when I'm looking at them. That's when I'm usually 20 cups of coffee in. But the 7-horse front man, like I said, his race at Saratoga last time out was just crap. Also a horrible trip. Before that at Belmont the 1st July in a start allowance race. He finished 5th by 2 3/4 lengths. Again, stupidly wide, never really showing up. But 3 back and a claiming 35, a non-3L, winning by a half length coming from mid-pack. He really won quite easily. He has to get a good trip. He's going to come from behind at 4-1 with some serious class relief. I'll use him on the ticket. It's one of the most wide-open races of the afternoon or the evening. I also think the 9-horse Ballydooly is your third likeliest winner from Michelle Nevin. Been trying the sprinting trips, going to a mile trip, has some early pace. It wouldn't surprise me if this horse steals it on the front end or if the horse tires to set up for a closer. We'll use this horse, like I said, on the ticket. But to recount my selection for the 4th in the Meadowlands, let's take the 3-horse Panster. Give kudos to the 7-horse Front Man and the number 9-horse Ballydooly. Where are we? 3791 Super, 379 in your multi-race. The 5th race from the Meadowlands, beginning of the late double, it is the allowance race, going for a purse $45,000. Race for fillies, mares, 3-year-olds, and upwards. Never won a race on main claim starter or staple allowance race, which never won 2 races here. We have a field of, 14 horses going 1,600 meters or a mile on the turf course. Gonna take here the number 11 horse. Excuse me, it's twice in one video. Once is shameful. The second time is uncalled for. But the 11 horse, Schuylerville. I'm gonna go 11, 10, 6, 8 in the Superfecta. 11, 10, 6, 8 Super, top selection, 11 horse Schuylerville, 3 Oak Filly by Air Force Blue, Jonathan Thomas trains, Isaac Castillo gets to mount. The horse's most recent outing came 10th September at Monmouth, mile 16th allowance race 57,000. When finishing 3rd by 2 3/4 lengths that day, the horse really wanted to go, but the jockey didn't let him. First off the long refreshing, he needed the race, he kind of hit the wall late, and which cost him. Second off the bench, not the world's toughest race, has some forwardly pace. I think the horse could really run a good race. 2 back at Turfway, 1 mile on the Tapeta and an optional 50 claimer. He finished 2nd by length. He just stalked all around the race course. The winner is Zawish, just had the jump on him, but this horse ran decently there. And then at Woodbine, 7 furlongs Tapeta and the girls' song, Glory Song, he finished 5th by 5 3/4 lengths that day. Stupidly wide. Didn't have the best beginnings, and he never really showed up there. But last September, breaking the maiden over the 7/8 on the Tapeta at Woodbine, he won quite nicely. I like his workout pattern since the last race. I think he could get some redemption. We'll use him on the ticket. Drawn on the outside of him, Sandpiper Memories is your second likeliest winner. Most recently in that tough allowance race at Monmouth, the horse just really couldn't get out from the wide post draw. Last few races have been wide post draws, but I think wide post draw here at the Meadowlands, I don't mind so often. I think if you have some speed, you could overcome it. She looks like she can have some speed. Her races in South Florida are up to par against these horses. 10-1. We'll give it a bit of a price in this beginning of the late double. But to recount my selection for the 5th from the Meadowlands, let's take the 11 horse Schuylerville. Give kudos to the 10 horse Sandpiper Memories. 11, 10, 6, 8 Super. 11, 10 in your multi race. To the 6th race, the nightcap on the program. It's a maiden claiming event going for a $16,500 purse. Races for 3-year-olds and upwards. Maidens here going for that $10,000 purse. 14 horses are entered, only a dozen could go. That mile trip. I'm going to take the 2 horse Dream Astray as a top selection. Let's go 2, 10, 6, 11 in the Superfecta. 2, 10, 6, 11 Super, top selection 2 horse Dream Astray, 4-year-old Gelded by Gone Astray, gets rolling up in the saddle. The horse's most recent outing came 10th September at Monmouth, mile 16th and main 16, and the horse finished 4th by 2 3/4 lengths. Was just a little bit wide. He had the lead for a split portion, but just never could get there. Going down to a maiden 10, better turf course that plays towards his front running grinding style. I think he can run a lot better. 2 back mid-August at Monmouth, mile 16th and main 16. His turf debut, he finished 2nd by 6.5 lengths. The winner was much the best, one next start out, but this horse just kind of stalked him and really couldn't get there. Also, 9 out of 11 post road didn't help. And then on the dirt at Monmouth, mile 16th and claiming 12.50, finishing 2nd by length. The winner won quite nicely, but this horse, he held on decently. He definitely improved off the sprinting races where he just wasn't really showing up. I think he wants to go a mile. I think he wants to run on the turf, and I think he could get a good race and win. I also think another horse that could win is the 10 horse who is Strike Peace. Harion Rendon is on this one. Most recently at Monmouth in the 10th of September, mile 16th and main 16. He finished second by a neck. He was with them early on. He hit the wall late. What can you do? He just couldn't keep up all the way down the class ladder. It's the lowest division he's running against. Couldn't come from mid-pack. His Byers up to scratch. I'll use him here. And also, I think you have to use the 6-horse, who is the 6-horse Joshua. Hector Diaz Jr. is on this one. His races in New York, I thought he was just facing a little bit too tough competition. Way down the class ladder again, going to a mile trip. I'll use him as your wise guy horse. He's either going to run a massive race or going to hit way out of it. But to recap my selection for the nightcap from the Meadowlands, the 6th race, let's take the 2-horse Dream Astray. 210 611 Super, 210 6 in your multi-race pick 6 to end it off. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.